Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, baddies of the world, and welcome back to another sexy little, honestly sleepy episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm excited to be here despite the lack of sleep in my life for the past couple days. That's okay. Sometimes the delusion makes for a fun episode. You guys seem to like last episode a lot, so if you are here for more of that kind of energy, girl, you came to the right fucking place. Honestly, I just had a really busy weekend, and who am I to complain about a busy weekend? I love being a little busy bee, but if I don't get my adequate time to recharge, then I feel sometimes like just a drained battery. But sometimes a drained battery is a happy battery. And yeah, this weekend was good, but my God, I just did not get enough sleep. I worked all weekend as I'm kind of finishing out some shifts. And that was just fucking chaos because, like I said, as you guys know, this restaurant is a goddamn fucking mess. If I owned this place, I would be gutting it, restaffing, completely taking over. But obviously that's not happening. Why am I waiting an hour and a half for an entree? Why are we waiting an hour and a half for an entree? Customers were pissed. Rightfully so. I had to look them in the eyes and be like, yeah, girl, I'd be mad too. I'll comp it for you. I don't give a fuck. So sorry. I'm so mentally checked out from this job at this point that it's I don't really give a fuck. You want your money back? Cool. You want something for free? Cool. I have no more bandwidth for the drama and the chaos. But it was all girls this weekend, which was such a good vibe. Outside of that, because even though we were suffering in hell, at least we had each other. And Friday night, one of my last tables of the night, they were like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm at work. That's all I know what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, we're playing at this venue later this evening. You should come. Bring the girls. You guys seem like a fun group. You guys are laughing, hanging out, taking shots downstairs. You guys seem like fun. We'll put you on the guest list. You should come. And I was like, I'll think about it. If I can rally the troops, then sure. Because I used to be every shift I worked, which was Monday through Saturday at my old restaurant with my old restaurant crew, we were going out. I mean, I was 18 years old back then, and I was partying with 35-year-olds because they were like, yeah, it's okay. I know the bouncer. I literally used to work here. They don't give a fuck. As long as you're with me, you're getting in. Let's go out. Let's go have a good time. And when I'm 18, 19, who's to say no to that? Hello. And these people genuinely took care of me as if I was a little sister. They always watched out for me. They always made sure I was taken care of. Even though we were going out and partying, they always made sure I was safe and okay and not interacting with weirdos or strangers. We were just there to have a good time, and they wanted to make me feel included. And when you find a perfect group of people at a job, especially in a restaurant, you guys kind of end up trauma bonding, and it becomes almost like family. And this was a family I carried with me for 3 years, and I had so much fun over that time. But once, we all kind of went on different areas, went down different avenues, it all kind of fell apart. I was like, wow, what an era, but really not trying to have that again. Because when I tell you we were out, club, bus, train, plane, another club. We were going wild, crazy, cuckoo bananas. And that was fun, but my God, my body feels like it's 80 years old. So the restaurant crew I have right now, love them endlessly. The girls are amazing, so fun. I have a great time working with them. But when they go out, I'm like, oh, girl, my knees feel like they're going to explode. My heart feels like it's swollen. My insides are not okay. I just don't have the time or energy to go out. I don't know if there was just a perfect storm of events where it was we're all in good moods. Even though it was chaos, we made it through. We're closing early. Everybody wants to go out. Oh, everybody said yes. Not one person is bailing. Girl, I went home. I changed immediately. We're pulling up to the club immediately. My restaurant owner really made it a priority to really like only hire very strong willed individual women, which is the exact kind of person that I love. So when we went out, it was like, oh, we're taking over. We're taking over. We're taking over. Absolutely. Shout out to the girl who was running the host desk who got us in for free. I love you endlessly, queen. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because even though we were on the guest list, there was like 5 of us. Like, not all of us are on the guest list. So she waived all of our entry fees. I was like, oh my God, a queen. Thank you so much. We got in, we got shots, we got drinks. We went to the dance floor. We were dancing. All of a sudden, we're outside, kikiing with the girls, smoking cigarettes, smoking a little J, hanging out with the bouncers because my friend knew the bouncer and the GM. So we're chatting with them. Now we're back inside. We're dancing. Now we're having a bathroom break. Now we're dancing. I do really miss the club energy because it is like, as a social butterfly, you can run around and do your own little thing and just be a little free-willed fairy finding her place in society, especially in an environment like that where it was very much so like nightclub-esque, but still such a small venue that you're not going to get lost. No one's going to fucking take you. Like, you can simply just run around, have a good time. Drinks are not the most expensive thing I've ever had in my life, thank God. Oh, I did have someone ask, what do you order when you go out? I've been in a shot mood recently. I love a drink where I'm holding it and then I'm sipping on it throughout the night. If I'm going to do that, I'm ordering a vodka soda with a lime, period. But recently, as I've gotten older, I found myself and me trying to combat my alcoholism, not me like taking shots instead. But if I have something and I'm holding it and I'm sipping on it, I have more of a tendency to get more of those drinks, so I have something to do, so I am sipping on it. Now that I'm older, I am in a hands-free mood, and I feel like one shot every, like, I don't know, hour or so, 45 minutes is perfect, especially when going out where I'm only going to be out for like 3 hours, because it's going to be cheaper, and then I'm hands-free so I can dance and have a good-ass time, and it's quick. You're not bothering the bartender like, I need a craft cocktail now. I do love just and this is not ideal for you probably, but I do love just a vodka shot with a lime wedge on the side. Like, let me just get it down and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Or a vodka shot and then a side of sparkling water. But we got our little shots in, we're dancing, whatever. But me and the girls were kind of dancing towards the back. And I was like, no. We're meant to be at the front. We're meant to be at the front. We need to get to the front. Hello, of course. And there's like a perfect little gap where everybody in the center is all men. So like, fuck the men. No one wants to watch the men dance at the front. No one wants to watch the men dance at the front. Life lesson for you all. If you are a woman, you can get to the front. You got it. I believe in you. Sorry, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Like, let me just sneak through real quick. We all grabbed each other's hands. I pulled them to the front. All of a sudden, we're in the front, dancing, having a good time right next to the DJ booth. Just living our best little hot girl lives, like having a great time dancing together. And those girls can dance. Shout out to them. Like, I love a girl who's just like, no, I'll get down on the dance floor. Absolutely. Like, you would not believe what these hips could do. But like I said, there were some men there. And all of a sudden, this 6-foot beast, not in a good way, ogre, appears out of thin air in front of us, pushing us back. Like, excuse me. Ogre-like man shows up in the middle of the dance floor, pushing these girls away, holding a Michelob Ultra. What the hell are you doing up here? What, don't you know this is a space for the girls? What the hell are you doing up here? He's like, I was here first. I was here first. We're like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, you're blocking the view for everybody up here. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm just focused on dancing, having a good time, blah, 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 blah. Well, then he starts kind of like pushing into us, like shoving into us a little bit. And I'm like, no. When Hannah gets drunk, I do not fucking play. Especially now that I'm older, I don't give a fuck. If you're bothering me, I'm going to let you know you're bothering me, especially if you're a man. If you're a woman, I get it. Maybe you're a little tipsy, maybe you're stumbling around, whatever. But you are a behemoth ogre of a man pushing into women. No. I looked him in the eyes and I go, this is really embarrassing for you that you are a grown ass man shoving around women. This is really, really embarrassing for you. And then he's trying to like cuss me out, but he's too drunk to be like actually forming any sort of words. Actually, not even probably drunk, just stupid. I'm like, no, shut the fuck up, turn around, get away from us. You're such a fucking weirdo. Like cussing him the fuck out. Obviously, since he couldn't form words because he wasn't smart enough, he just started like the annoying ass, not even man, boy he was. He started just like shoving us really hard. And me and my other coworker, who is also like the baddest bitch I've ever met in my life. It was me, this other coworker, bad bitch, aggressive, fuck with her, hardcore. And then 2 other girls who are a little bit more shy, a little bit smaller. Me and my bad bitch coworker locked eyes and we said, hell no. We both had the same idea but different plans. So she took off out the backside of the pit. I took off to the side. I immediately went to the bartender and I was like, hey, there is a man harassing us on the dance floor. And listen, if you are a woman and you ever feel unsafe, this is exactly what you should be doing if you don't know anybody else there. Go to the bartender, tell them there is a man who is harassing us or being rude or disrespectful. I do not feel safe. Can you find a bouncer for me so we can, settle this? This bartender locked in, said, yep, follow me right this way, yep. On full speed, taking out around the crowd, follow me, yep, follow me this way, right around the corner. And then I saw my friend talking to the GM who we were talking to earlier because I forgot she knew the GM, who is also this giant bouncer and this giant ass gold chain. We're looking at them, we're like, dude, he's so fucking annoying. He's shoving us around. He appeared out of nowhere. Like, he's being rude. We told him to fuck off and he isn't. I love when bad bitches get together because we will get that shit handled. The GM looked at us and said, say no more. I have it handled. Just show me where he is. We go in. We go straight to the pit. The 2 girls that we left there are holding the fort down while he's still harassing them. All it took is me and my girlie to point at this man, him, right here. The GM, like a fucking cartoon, reaches over, grabs his collar, and yanks this man out of the fucking pit. Yanks this 6-foot man out of the pit. Come here. Get the fuck out of here. Rips him out of the pit. He's like yelling at the GM because he's like, what did I do? What did I do? No, those are being annoying drunk bitches. I didn't do anything. He said, you're permanently banned. Get the fuck out of my club right now. Get the fuck out of here. Literally drags him by the collar with 2 other bouncers down the steps into the gravel road. Goodbye. And guess what? Me and the girls had a grand old time shutting that club down, dancing in peace. You do not need to put up with any bullshit when you are out. If you are a woman, if you are there to have a good time, all you're doing is having a little drink with your friends, dancing, minding your own fucking business. If anybody else is causing you problems, you are not the problem. They are the problem. And best believe if they're ruining the vibe for you, they're ruining the vibe for everybody fucking else. Because we're looking around at all these men standing around us watching this other man harass us. They're not going to do shit because they're pussies. Sometimes you got to handle your own fucking business. And there are people there who are working, like bouncers. They love to throw people out. They really do. It's their job. They love the chaos of it all. It makes a great story. Like they're there to protect you, period. And if you feel unsafe or if you're like even slightly annoyed by a man shoving you on the dance floor, yes, rightfully so annoyed, go find someone. They will help you. They will get that man out of there. But I have never felt like more of like, period. Thank God my friend knew the GM because he handled that shit on his own. The other bouncers were ready to come with him, but he's like, nope, I have it handled. Let's get it done. And then afterwards, they're closing on the club. They're like, you could stay outside, smoke, whatever. But the GM came up to us. He's like, I'm really sorry. Like, you guys should not have had to deal with that. Thank you so much for finding us. If anybody is ever bothering you, let us know. We are here to help you. You are always welcome here. Like, we want you guys at this club having a good time, but we do not want that man here ever fucking again. Because sometimes, especially after standing up for yourself, you're like, did I go too far? Did that man need to get practically snatched out of that club? He did. But we told him, we were like, we wouldn't have come and got you if it wasn't like a real fucking issue. Like, if this man wasn't practically shoving us with both hands, like, if it wasn't an issue, we wouldn't have found you. So thank you for understanding and like believing women. # believe women. Because girl, fuck that fucking man. And I'm so glad we got him permanently banned because that was just not the vibe. And you know what? especially in this economy where this societal standpoint where men feel entitled to take over women's space and to push them around and to bully them and harass them and think they can get away with it. No, 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 no. Not in my fucking town. Not in my fucking space. That is not going to fly with me. And yeah, you did get what you were asking for. You should be permanently banned out of that goddamn club immediately. But it felt so good. It felt so nice. I woke up the next morning. My boyfriend's so sweet. I was like, I'm coming on a change and then I'm going to the club with my girls. He's like, okay, have fun. I woke up the next morning. I rolled over. I was like, we got this man permanently banned last night. My boyfriend's like, what? What were you guys doing? Like, what's going on? But no, it was a grand old time. And I love that I have friends who are strong women and strong-willed. And also I love having connections in nightlife because it just makes life so much easier. Honestly, the more you go out, the more connections you'll have. So if you're trying to make connections, especially in the industry, maybe you'll get yourself a little bartending gig, you know, go frequent the clubs, be nice to the bouncers, be nice to the people letting you in, be nice to the workers, always tip fat for the bartenders because they're going through it too. And, you know, take care of them. They'll take care of you always. But yeah, we went to our restaurant job the next day. I was a little hungover. I ordered everybody pizza because I was like, this is the only thing that'll get me through. And we were talking to the owner who he was like, I'll come out with you guys. And then like he went somewhere else. He's such a partier too. But we told him about it. He's like, oh, fuck, I missed it. Like, oh, my God. He was like, I would pay so much money to see that whole situation go down because, wow, love. Like I said, he only hires strong women, that's for sure. But that was just, it was so fun. That little moment was exhausting. Thank God he got kicked out. And he was with girls, too. And the girls turned around to us and he was like, did you know where this guy went? And we're like, yeah, girl, he's out in the streets rolling around the gravel dirt. Like, I don't know what to say. And then she's like on the phone with him. She's like, oh my God, these random drunk girls got him kicked out. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Maybe you should leave with him. Oh my God, that's so wild. Maybe you should go too. Actually, don't go with him because that man might kill you. I'm not even kidding. That man was a piece of shit and I hope he rots. But yeah, that, and then the next morning I was so freaking hungover, and then I went to my boyfriend's grandma's birthday party for like 5 hours, which was so sweet. You know, you got to show up and see the fam and, you know, let them know that they have a partner, period. You know, you got to be an active partner in your partner's lives. So I'm hungover, like in glasses, sitting on the back deck, like trying to nurse my hangover with a Diet Coke. My boyfriend's like going down a slip and slide with 3 and 5-year-olds in his jorts, like living his best life. I'm like, okay. Then I go to my next shift and I work like 8 hours again, but at least it was all girls again. So we had a grand old time. Then I woke up the next morning and we deep cleaned the house. I didn't get any sleep, mostly because my cat has like a set schedule and there's no sleeping in with him. Like, you're up at 8 a.m. I don't care how late you were up. You're up at 8 a.m. because I need to be fed. So I'm running on like maybe 12 hours of sleep. But that was my crazy hectic weekend. And then yeah, this week's gonna be very, very booked and busy for me because although I've been busy, I do have a vacation coming up. You guys, I'm so excited. I've been telling you I need to run away. I need to run away to the forest. I need to run away to the mountains, and I will be doing so. I'm going to Colorado with some really amazing girlies that I've known for my entire fucking life. It's the same group I went with to the Tetons last year. We're just going to the mountains to escape, to hike, to live our best life in the forest. We're going to a rodeo. We're going to go, yeah, just drive around the mountains and swim in as many little random creeks and riverbeds that we can and go on like 8-mile long hikes until I can't feel my legs. It's going to be so freaking wonderful. But that does mean that I'm doing a lot of prep this week. So you guys are prepared for next week. Now, I know you're sitting here and you're probably thinking, oh my God, is this a confessionals episode? She hasn't mentioned it once. Because I did post on my Instagram story asking for your confessionals. If you're hearing this now, you still have a little bit of time. If you want to submit your confessionals, just go to my Instagram at Hannah Marlene and you can leave them in my DMs. That works too. But the reason I asked for that is because this week will be a normal episode, and then next week while I'm on vacation, I'm pre-recording and pre-uploading a confessionals only hot, sexy summer episode, okay? It's gonna be a good fucking time. I do love confessionals, especially like every season I try to do a confessionals episode. So if you have, made mistakes or you need to repent, this is a safe space. Come tell the girls, we'll forgive you. That's for sure. And it's also nice just to have a little laugh and realize, goddamn, sometimes we're all a mess, and that's what makes life fun. So next week will be the confessionals episode. This week, regular episode. I don't think I'm really skipping any content. Same with the Patreon girlies. If you're wondering, like, oh my gosh, she's not going to post. Nope. I am having everything pre-uploaded for you guys. So don't worry. You will not miss any sort of regularly scheduled content. With that being said, I did just upload another baked and baking vlog on my YouTube vlog channel at Hannah Marlene 444. If you want to just like hang out, get a little stony and make some cookies with me. I made chocolate chip cookies. It's so freaking good. So amazing. Such a fun little vlog for you all. I have so much fun editing. I'm realizing I really enjoy editing. So if it's too much editing, let me know. Taking feedback always. And then this week I'm actually going to the fair with my boyfriend. My favorite like country thing to do every summer. It is a ritual that I have to do, or else I feel like I did not achieve like my July August season of the year, which is you have to go to the county fair. You gotta go to the county fair always. And I'm just gonna go film myself eating as much fair food as I possibly can. I don't do rides. Are you guys a ride girly? I am not a ride girly. I do not like feeling out of control. I don't like when my neck snaps around on roller coasters. I don't like the feeling of my stomach dropping out. Not the vibe for me. And that's how I knew my ex-boyfriend wasn't the one, because for my birthday one year, he bought me season passes to Worlds of Fun. And I said, who the fuck do you think I am? When have I ever been on a roller coaster with you? Literally, the whole year before, he was like, can you go to the Worlds of Fun with me? Will you ride a roller coaster? Will you ride a roller coaster with me? Will you ride a roller coaster with me? I'm like, no, bitch, I fucking hate roller coasters. And then you get me season passes to Worlds of Fun? No, that's not fucking happening. That's how I knew, goddamn, this bitch doesn't know anything about me. I need to get the fuck out of here. I don't do roller coasters. I don't do rides. Even the Ferris wheel at the county fair. Last time I was on the Ferris wheel, I was on mushrooms. And we were on this Ferris wheel. And, like, Ferris wheels, they should be calm. They should be chill. It should be for, like, making out or, like, little romantic skyline view, okay? This roller coaster was going a million miles per hour. Yes, roller coaster, Ferris wheel. It was like so fast, and then when we were flying around this thing and bolts and bits were falling out of it, and I was on mushrooms, I was like, nope. So I do love the fair food, and I do love seeing the animals. So if you want to see a little vlog for me, that will be up at the end of the week. But for now, chocolate chip cookie recipe is up. Oh my god, but enough of me fucking yapping. You guys, I had a moment yesterday where can we get a little TMI? I needed to start doing TMI warnings because I started talking about sucking dick from the back in the last episode, and I think it was a little bit of a jump scare for some people. It was a bit early in, so here's your TMI warning about sex talk. You guys, okay, so yesterday me and my boyfriend were fucking, and I don't know what overcame me, but I was like, yeah, we can do anal. Girl, what? My god. Very random of me. We didn't end up doing it, but I don't know what the fuck got in my brain where I was like, yeah, no, you sure, whatever. But I did have you guys asking a little bit about butt play. So let's talk about it. Do it after the shower. Like, just shower first and then get into it. Like, you'll have a grand old time. Don't worry. Don't worry about douching. Genuinely, if they are a real partner and a real explorer, okay, sometimes there's gonna be a little bit of a mess, and that's okay. It shouldn't be like too messy, but like, it's an asshole. Don't worry about it being squeaky fucking clean. For sure, that is the last thing you need to be worried about, okay? Your partner should just be happy to have access to that area if they are granted access. If you don't want to do it, then period, you do not have to. But my sexual exploration and like pleasure was heightened to a new level once I discovered butt play. Listen, if you're hitting from the back and you want to put a little thumb inside, I'm not one to complain. If you want to ever explore it with like I do love a butt plug, especially like a vibrating butt plug, because if you put it inside and then it's vibrating while they're fucking you, it will also like vibrate their dick a little bit, which gives them pleasure and you pleasure, fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you guys need something to do this weekend with your boyfriend and get freaky nasty, girl, get a little butt play going and have a good old time. But I will like to warn you that if you do anal, you could get hemorrhoids. I had never had hemorrhoids until I started doing backdoor play a little bit more often. And then all of a sudden, I had all these hemorrhoids like all the time, or more hemorrhoid occurrences than I've ever had in my entire life. So please be aware that that is always a possibility. And please, for the love of God, use as much lube as possible. Use as much lube as possible. My favorite lube, baby oil. Oh, ooh. Oh my God. Sorry. Anytime I hear the word baby oil, I get like triggered just because of like the whole Diddy thing. I hate to say it is a great lube, that or coconut oil, but sometimes coconut oil is not just like, it doesn't stay as like lubricated as long. I feel like you have to keep applying it. Coconut oil is great if you guys want to like sit down and massage each other or like oil your entire body up. But like if you need something that's like actually gonna stay lubricated for a long time, just go invest in a good lube, seriously. And have fun. But I was literally thinking about that. I was like, what the fuck got into my brain where I'm like, yeah, you can put it back there. Girl, chill. I get into this zone when I'm having sex where it's like, let's get crazy. Let's get fucking wild. And then I get sex sober. And I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Oh my God. But that's what the beauty about sex, where it's kind of just like you lose each other, or you lose yourself in each other, and you're just solely focused on pleasure and like what brings you pleasure and what brings them pleasure, that you're like, fuck it, let's go on this adventure together. You know what I mean? But when I'm out of that zone, I'm like, oh my God, girl, that's crazy of you. I guess since we're talking about sex, someone asked, do you have any tips for being more relaxed during sex as a woman? Thanks, girl. Honestly, I'm such a pillow princess. I am. There's a couple times where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll put in some fucking work. Usually the work I'm putting in is like sucking dick. I'll go crazy when I'm sucking dick. Absolutely. Other than that, like, I'm here to receive. And it does depend on, like, the kind of relationship you and your partner have. Like, I don't know if your boyfriend's more of a pillow princess. I don't know if your girlfriend's more of a pillow princess. I don't know if you are. Sometimes you can switch it off where it's like, maybe I'm going to focus on my pleasure. And then, next round, I'll focus more on them. But me personally, I am such a receiver. I am. I deserve good things. I deserve pleasure. I deserve to sit back and enjoy. Thank God I found a boyfriend who's like, yeah, girl, let me throw it down for you. But especially when you're trying to like focus on just like receiving or like being in pleasure, do not focus on the performance of it all. You're not a porn star. There's no camera up filming you. Like, simply focus on the feeling. And if you need to kind of just like lay back and close your eyes and like lock in, then that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of the time when I was having sex but not receiving pleasure, it was because I was too focused on the performance of it all. I was too focused on my partner. And like, that's good. You should be, but not every single time. Like, you deserve to receive too. So if you need to lay back, relax, enjoy, like have your partner massage your back, eat you out, dick you down, it's okay if you're just gonna lay there and focus on pleasure. I am pro pillow princess in this house. Absolutely. I do not think the girls need to be swinging from the rafters or doing anything crazy in the bedroom just to win a man over. No, in fact, he should be throwing down to win you over. Absolutely. And if you have a hard time like getting in that zone, especially with ADHD, like sometimes you're like, oh my God, the fan's moving too hard, and it's like, girl, you need to be focused on that dick inside of you. The fan's moving too fast. It's too cold in here. Like, what the fuck? Sometimes it's hard to focus. Sometimes it's hard to lock in. So if you have a hard time like with that ADHD one-track mind, like, it's okay if you take all of your effort and willpower just to focus on the pleasure in front of you. I give you permission. No, your partner will not be mad at you for receiving pleasure. They should not be. That's not how it should work. But yeah, girl, if you need to pillow princess it out and just like lock in on the feelings and what feels good to you and discovering that and trying new things, then I respect you and that journey, and I hope you have so much fun. But don't stress out about the whole like observation of it all, or like needing to provide for your partner. Girl, you had the pussy. That's providing enough, in my opinion. But yeah, when I really want to throw down, I'm just gonna like go crazy sucking dick. That's about it. Also, I think I'm gonna get my belly button pierced Vlog ideas so far this week: fair vlog, eating as much fair food as possible. Week after that, I'm gonna do Colorado vlog, and then week after that, I think I'm gonna get my belly button pierced, because I think a belly button piercing is so sexy, and I can't believe I don't have it yet. Like, girl, you have your nipples pierced but not your belly button pierced. Yeah, yeah. And I'm so ready for something new. I've been thinking like maybe I get a tattoo. There's something about summer where I'm like, I wanna get tatted up. I wanna change something about myself. I wanna dye my hair pink. And I think the easiest route to go is belly button piercing. I know the healing can be a bitch, but I think it'll be a good thing. Oh, also, someone said, girl, how do you heal your nose ring? I've had mine for 2 years and keep getting bumps. That's the thing about piercings. Like, you have to be committed for the long-term healing. I don't think anything heals like in a fucking month. I mean, maybe some things, maybe like ears heal really quickly, but especially with like my nipples or my nose, especially my nose. I got it at 16. It was my 16th birthday present. My dad cried when I got it, but my mom took me to get it. Like, hello, you didn't tell him. But my nose took a good 2 to 3 years to fully heal. I kept getting like keloids, or just like little bumps, just like little pimples. I don't know. They weren't like infections, but it was just like little bumps that I would get. And it was just so bad, because I was like, why is it not healing? Why is it not healing? Girl, it takes a while. It takes a while. That skin is so thick, like there, my nipples, my skin, the skin's so thick to get through that like even just the slightest jostle, or even just like the slightest movement, can open up that tissue again. So you have to be committed to the long-term healing, and it will heal eventually. Don't worry. I remember traumatic in high school. Since I had my nose pierced at 16, I was like junior year, and I had this massive keloid on my nose that I was like kind of covering up with like a band-aid for a while. Then eventually I just stopped wearing the band-aid, because I was like, fuck it, it's just a hole in my nose, whatever. It looks nasty, but whatever. I don't care. I had acne at the time. I was going through it. Like, my will was at the very lowest point possible. I don't give a fuck about a keloid on my nose. And I remember I was walking down the hallway, and one of the teachers looked at me and goes, damn, with like, if it's that fucked up, maybe she should take the nose ring out. Oh my God. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why would you say that to me? God, horrible, evil. What the hell? I didn't take the nose ring out. Thank God. I never listened to a man, and I kept it in. And yeah, I would say it fully healed 16, 17, 18, probably a full 3 years after. So as long as you commit to the healing, commit to taking care of it, cleaning, understanding that, sometimes there might be a little bit of goop, a little bit of blood. That's okay. Take care of it, clean it, moisturize. It will get to the point where, girl, someone could grab me by this fucking nose ring, and I don't think it would do any sort of damage. Genuinely, it's been here so long. Same thing with my nipples. I got them done at 18. Yeah, 18. So I'm 26 now. Oh, girl. Yeah, you. I could pull a car with these nipple rings. I'll tell you what, they're so healed. Someone said I have a vacation coming up soon, and I feel so gross. Gross? What? How would you lock in before vacay? I feel like I just do a lot of TLC self-care right before vacation, especially when it comes to just like keeping moving, eating healthy or healthier. Because I know when I'm going on vacation, like, I'm going to go crazy. Usually vacations, I'm not hiking 8 miles a day. So I know since I'm doing that on this vacation, I also probably will be eating like not the healthiest. I don't really focus on healthy, unhealthy, but like, I'm gonna be eating out. I'm gonna be eating good food. I'm gonna be going to different restaurants, trying new things, So the week before, since I know I'm gonna be indulging when I'm out on vacation, I do really try and stick to like a good routine food wise before, of just like trying to get my greens in, trying to get my fiber in, trying to get, since I'm going to be eating burgers for 8 days, why don't I try and eat as much vegetables before I go? Do you know what I mean? Not restricting. I don't fuck with that. But at least just like making sure I'm taking care of my whole self, my whole body, I do love a little daily walk. I think it gets you ready to kind of, especially if you're like going on vacation, you're going to be moving a lot. I'm going 8-mile hikes. Like, I have to stay active before, or else my body's going to go into shock on that 8-mile hike. Like, I need to be prepared that way. I need to stay hydrated. One thing about vacation, it will dehydrate you like crazy. I always get so dehydrated on vacations. So I always like to just chug as much water as possible before I leave. And yeah, I mean, once you get on vacation, you're going to feel hot and sexy anyways. So if you feel bad here, it's just because you're not on the beach yet, Like, I'm not really worried about how I feel here, because when I'm at the top of an mountain next to an alpine lake, I'm gonna feel the sexiest I've ever felt in my entire life. It's hard not to feel sexy when you're surrounded by beautiful things. Do you know what I mean? So don't focus on that, but focus on like, how can I prep for vacation, where it's like maybe I'm just taking care of my whole body, you know, shave, shower, whatever it is, so you don't have to do that on vacation. Stay hydrated, take your vitamins, take your minerals, all that good old stuff. How to find motivation in slow season. Oh, I miss slow season so bad. I do. I'm in my fast season right now. I am in peak busy season for me personally in my life. And my God, it makes me miss the times where I was sitting here like, what do I do with my day? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I say, don't focus on the motivation of it all, but focus on like, maybe your life's slowing down for a reason. Life has, you know, the peaks and the pits and the middle grounds. And if you find yourself in a moment where it's like, this is very chill, I'm not doing a whole lot, maybe I'm a little bored, I don't know what to do, like, it's a little slow right now, you know, I don't really know where to go or, you know, enjoy what I have. You really got to focus on just like really taking advantage of that slowness, of calming down, of relaxing, of enjoying the downtime that you do have, because usually, and what I've noticed is that downtime comes before you enter another really busy season. So it is kind of the universe setting you up for success, where if you do take advantage of like taking care of yourself and slowing down and getting enough rest and really focusing on like relaxation and taking advantage of that time, when you do get to the busy worker bee season of your life, since you took advantage of that slow time, you feel like you have rested and rejuvenated enough to work hard, achieve a lot. That's me right now. I'm like, thank God I laid on the couch for 5 days last week. So then this week, when I'm filming 8 things a day, which thankful for, I have energy to do so. I have motivation to do so. I have inspiration to do so. You know what I mean? And if you do find yourself in that bit of time where you're like, no, I'm just bored, like it's slow, but I'm bored, I need something to do, that's when you pick up hobbies. You don't pick up hobbies when you're like in the busiest part of your life possible. Like, girl, you don't have time to add a 18th thing onto your plate. But when you do have those slow moments and you're like, okay, but what do? I don't know what to do with my life right now. That's when you pick up those hobbies, those ideas you have during the busy time where you're like, God, I wish I had enough, I had more time to do this. Maybe it's a gym, maybe it's a class, maybe it's whatever it could be. That's when you pick up those hobbies during that slow season. Recovering from a mental breakdown and now attending group therapy. Any advice? I love group therapy. When I was in group therapy, especially as a teen, I thought it was fantastic because it really puts things into perspective of like, maybe my problems aren't so bad. Like, no, but genuinely, sometimes you need a little bit of perspective. And I remember being in group therapy and I'm like, they make you introduce yourself almost like AA meeting. Hi, my name's Hannah. I have depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts and tendencies. The list goes on and on and on and on. That's how everybody introduces themselves with whatever they're going on with, whatever problems they have. And then you kind of go into like what you're going through in that moment. Well, everything I complained about, it was like crickets, which like, duh. It's just a place to be heard or like be in a group of your peers where if someone is going through the same thing, like they can kind of hear you out. It's really nice in that sort of way. But also I'm like complaining about not being loved enough. Valid. And then there's somebody who's like, yeah, so I was stabbed at school and my family did the worst possible things you ever could have imagined for me. Like completely have had such a horrible, awful life. And I'm like, oh my God, wow, I truly have nothing to complain about. Genuinely, my problems feel so small compared to like what some other people go through. And I think especially when I was younger, that perspective was really nice. Like, girl, it's not all about you sometimes. I mean, it is when you're going through something really, really hard, but also it sets you up for success with people that, you know, are like-minded or going through similar things or maybe have like similar diagnoses and ways to cope and manage throughout it that you maybe would have never imagined or had perspective on. So that's where I think group therapy really, really comes in handy. Especially for people like me where it's like I'm one-on-one with a therapist and I'm like, girl, I don't know what the fuck to talk about right now. Like, I have nothing in common with you. Like, sure, I have problems, but I don't even know how to bring them up. Like, maybe, me and my therapist are kind of going through it right now. Not in a bad way. I just go and I'm like, I leave and I feel like I did nothing there. And it's $160 a session. Babe, what? Hello? I went to a psychic last week and that was so much better than my therapist ever could have been. Oh my God, my psychic read me to filth. Like I said, I love a psychic because they're going to sit you down and they're going to be like, no, bitch, you got to lock in. And I do love that. Like, you can't argue with the universe. And this psychic specifically does intuitive counseling too. She has her PhD in behavioral science and therapy. So, like, she's coming it from a psychiatric background. And I did film this and I said I was going to upload it for a vlog, but I actually just uploaded it for the tier 3 Patreon girlies. So if you want to see it, join tier 3. It's only a couple dollars more. But I post a lot more on there for the girls if you want exclusive exclusive content. Not like that, but just like fun little things. Patreon.com/smokesashshotty to join there. But I went into full detail about it and I kind of vlogged, the entire experience. But essentially, the TLDR of it is she was like, you need to get out of your fucking head and get to work. Get out of your head and get to work. And I was like, all right, bitch, I will. All right, fine. But that was such a good lesson and it was $60. Hello, I'm going to therapy. It's $160. And I'm like, girl, what are we talking about here? I'm going to keep up with it though. Maybe we'll make some more discoveries. Therapy is also like dating. You got to find someone who understands you and sees you and knows how to kind of like pull those problems out of you a little bit. And I think group therapy is a great alternative where it kind of is better for putting things into perspective, and also like just working with your peers is, in my opinion, I have such an easier time working with my peers than maybe working with someone in a authoritative place. Like sometimes a therapist can feel authoritative in that sort of way, and I have an issue with authority, as you can probably tell. So when it's with people who are also going through the same things and kind of going on the same journey with you, it can feel a little bit more supportive, more understanding, and you just get a better perspective out of it. So I do really enjoy group therapy, yeah. And I hope you do too. Hopefully there's some cool like-minded people there for you. Anxiety about needing to be a better person even when feeling like you're doing your best? No, but I do think you need to hear this because this is what I needed to hear. You're doing enough and I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. You've come so far. You've done so much hard work. And I want you to pause and take a moment to look around you at the life you've built around you, at all the hard work you've done, and just look yourself in the face and go, I'm proud of you. You did that. You've accomplished so much, and that is amazing. Yeah. I grew up with two highly motivated individual people in my life as parents who, no matter what I was doing, even if I was like soccer, varsity, cross country, varsity, distinguished scholars, like all AP classes, all A's, winning awards, like it didn't matter how much I was doing, it was never enough. And that has really fucked me up as an adult. It's made me a very hardworking individual, but hardworking to the point where sometimes I'm like, oh my God, girl, you're killing yourself a little bit. It fucked me up to the point where I realized I never really paused and looked back on all the shit I did and told myself like, wow, that's amazing. I'm proud of you. Because you've probably done a lot of shit. I've done a lot of shit. You've achieved a lot. You've done amazing things. And like, if you don't hear that, if you don't get that like kind of appreciation, it doesn't teach you to like stop and slow down and really celebrate your success, because your success should be celebrated. It keeps you more motivated than that like self-hatred or feeling like you're not doing enough does. That will make you work into the ground and die. If you want to stay motivated in a positive direction and continue to have energy, you have to do it through celebration and success. You have to do it through appreciation. You have to do it through a positive outlet, or else you're going to burn yourself out completely and you're going to lose all hardworking ability that you have. So pause, tell yourself, I'm proud of you. You're amazing. You're so hardworking. You will achieve everything you set your mind to, but it is important to just take a beat, look at all the amazing things you've done, and celebrate that success. You should be proud of yourself. What do I do about my boyfriend going on my phone when I'm sleeping? Oop. Oh, God. Boyfriend going through your phone. What the hell? Usually it's the other way around. And if it was the other way around, I can't blame a girl. But there is something to be said about like privacy. And I do think privacy is important. And I think with privacy comes trust. And the number one thing you need in a relationship, I mean, attraction, sure, but trust. If you do not have a relationship based on trust, on mutual trust, it simply is not going to work. Period, point blank. So they need to trust you. Hopefully this was like a one-time little slip up, and hopefully he told you about it and was like, I'm so sorry I did this, blah, blah, blah. But I do think a conversation needs to be had about trust in every single relationship, even if you go through each other's phones or not, where it's just like, if you ever feel insecure, upset, curious, just like something's going through your head, I want you to come to me first before feeling like you need to sneak around and discover things on your own. Also, I do think relationships should have an open phone policy. You know what I mean? Not that you guys should like not have passcodes or know each other's passcodes, whatever it is, but like if your partner wants to be like, hey, can I use your phone real quick? That should not be anxiety inducing in any sort of way. It should be like, yeah, sure. Here's my phone. Let me put in my passcode real quick. Go ahead. You know what I mean? I do think there should be that sort of trust where it's like, yeah, if you want to use my computer, use my computer. If you need to use my phone to call your mom or like search something on the internet, I don't give a fuck. You can use my phone. I don't think there should be, you know, any sort of sneaking around or snooping. I don't like that. I don't think you should feel that way. And sometimes, you know, even your partner might get in their own head and create this weird idea that you're cheating on them, and you know, of course there's gonna be a text message in your phone, so they go through your phone while you're sleeping, but that can feel very invasive and just like bad. So talk to them, be like, hey, that's not allowed again. We're not doing that again, because I'm right here, I'm literally sleeping next to you. You can wake me up and ask me about it. And I do love having that crazy bitch moment. I'm that crazy bitch who does create ideas in their head where it's like, I know you're cheating on me with 1,800 women. I know you have a secret harem out there. And it's like, obviously not, duh, nor have they done anything to make me think that. It's just, I'm a crazy fucking bitch. The best thing to do is literally with those delusions, just find your partner and be like, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I am thinking it. Can you help me, you know, regulate a little bit? Like, I'm having a crazy bitch moment. I say that a lot to my partner. I'm like, I'm having a crazy bitch moment, and what I'm about to say to you is not based in reality at all, but also like I need to get it off my chest or I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to lose my mind. And your partner should understand that. You know, they should be like, okay, I'll hear you out. Like, let me help you settle down. Let me calm you down. I think that's what's nice about having a partner, is you guys should be there for each other. But I understand if you're pissed, like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing going through my phone? Bitch, I'm trying to sleep, and now I can't trust sleeping next to you. Like, that's weird. So have a conversation, duh. Let them know that's never fucking allowed, because they should trust you as a partner. And if they are, like, at the very least, they should trust you enough to have a conversation with you, you know? And if you're ever going to go through that phone, please know whatever you find, you have to be prepared to leave. You got to be prepared to pack your bags and go. If you are going to take the risk of going through someone's phone, and you should only do that if you know there's something there. If you know, you know. But if you're going to do it, you need to be prepared to pack your shit and get the fuck out of there immediately. How do I accept that I've gained a little weight since being in the healthiest relationship ever? Ugh. Can I complain for a second? And not about this question. The skinny propaganda, girl, they want us out here starving. I do not fuck with that. I do not fuck with it at all. And here's the thing. The skinny propaganda, usually I find that like the body image propaganda that women receive is usually for the male perspective. But I do think the skinny propaganda is for women's perspective. The same way men think that like getting jacked and being like the most massive man ever with the most massive muscles ever is for the women's perspective. No. You're doing that to compete with other men. It's like a man competition. And I think the skinniness of it all is the same thing, but like women's perspective, like women versus women. And I don't have time to give into any of that. I don't have time. I like food. I like enjoying myself. I'm a woman. I have a woman's body. Okay. I don't want a 16-year-old body. I'm not a 16-year-old anymore. I want to feel like a woman. And with that comes, you know, putting on a little weight, your body changing, your boobs changing size, your ass changing size, having a little bit of tummy to protect my uterus. Hello. Like, your body's going to change and ebb and flow with the different kind of hormone cycles you go through, with the way that you're like just managing throughout the world. And one of the beautiful things about being in a healthy relationship, sometimes you gain a little weight. I call that love weight. I call that, you know, just a little extra cushion for pushing. You know what I mean? It means you're comfortable. It means you're supported. It means you're not thinking about your body because your partner loves you no matter what. It means they're taking care of you. It means you're healthy, both physically and mentally. Because I'll tell you what, when I was at my lowest weight, which is also fucked up because I got the most compliments from women at this weight, and I don't ever compliment anybody on weight or like body at all. I think that's fucked up. I think there's more to women than their bodies, and I will never compliment, you know, like body size or anything like that. That is just not a real adequate compliment to be giving people. And I found that the only way, like, especially my extended family has ever complimented me is like, oh my God, you look so skinny today. And it's like, thanks. My boyfriend's been mentally abusing me for years. When I was at my smallest, teeny tiniest, it was because I was constantly in fight or flight mode because a man was mentally abusing me every single day. I couldn't eat. I couldn't think straight. I could barely function. All I could do was like wake up, drink, and go to bed. And that is so, so, so bad. But like, thank God you're not in a relationship where it's like, holy shit, I'm so fucked up that like I'm malnourished. You know what I mean? Thank God you're in a relationship that's like, it's so healthy that I'm taking care of myself, that they're taking care of me, that like, you know, my body is changing in accordance to the love that I'm receiving. And I think that's beautiful because yeah, same. I met my boyfriend when I was just coming out of that abusive, toxic relationship. And yeah, I did put on some weight because like I was like malnourished. Literally, I was not taking care of myself at all. And you know, when someone comes through and they love you and they want to take care of you and they want to see you at your best, the way that they treat you will naturally reflect, you know, how you take care of yourself. And I do not want you to adequate, you know, like any sort of gaining weight or putting on weight in a negative way at all. I'm probably at like the quote unquote heaviest I've ever been. And I want to say quote unquote because like still, you know, I lucked out in the jean industry where my mom is very, very curvy and my dad is really, really skinny. So I was somewhere in the middle. But I have noticed, especially when I found myself like maybe the same thoughts creeping in as you have, where it's like kind of overthinking my body in general because it has changed. And in my brain, change equals bad. I had to stop thinking of my body in terms of bad and good and start thinking of it in terms of, do I feel good? Okay. Do I feel good? If I'm moving, if I'm eating, you know, good fucking food, and I don't care what it is. Sometimes it's Taco Bell, sometimes it's a salad. There's balance to life. If I'm, you know, in clothes that I enjoy, that fit me, that are cute, that make me feel comfortable, I don't give a fuck what weight I am, because if I'm taking care of myself, in turn, I feel good, and in turn, my relationship with myself is more positive. People should love you no matter what weight, what size, what you look like, period. And no one should ever judge you based on your body. These are just vessels for us to move around, to get around, to see the world, to experience the world. And the more you start treating it like a vessel, like a decorative piece, the more easier life gets. But yeah, congratulations, girl, on the healthy relationship, as you should be, okay? You should be, you know, loved no matter who you are, no matter what you look like. And yeah, sometimes with that good loving, good food, good sex, good experiences, good vacations, you're gonna put on a little bit of weight, but who cares? It is spooky scary how thin the girls are getting. Girl, it's okay to love yourself with a little bit of weight on it. It's okay to love yourself no matter what you look like. It's okay to take care of yourself. You do not need to be in competition with other women 24/7, especially about bodies. That's the last thing you need to be in competition about. And it is a slippery, dark road to fall down. So the sooner you get a grasp on those thoughts and the sooner you start treating your body like the goddess it is, you know what really changed my perspective on like body image is looking back, especially being like in art history. I was going to be an art history major and focusing on like the divine perspective of women and looking at like the oldest goddess statues you ever could have possibly thought that humans made. They are the most curvaceous, voluptuous, beautiful statues that you have ever seen in your entire life. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, that's the beauty of being a woman. That's the beauty of like the goddess iconography, is just no matter the shape, size you are a woman. You should be treated as the goddess you are. You should be honored and loved no matter what your vessel is presenting as, period. But my God, those toxic relationships will do a number on your body. And please, for the love of God, get out of there before you die. I'm begging you. How to pick which dreams are worth chasing. It's also overwhelming. Ooh. I am also like, I talk about dreaming a lot. Dreaming. And if you're a dreamer like me, you probably have a lot of dreams. You probably have a lot of ideas. You're like, I want to do this. Then I want to do this. Me personally, I'm like, I want to be a tattoo artist, but also I want to work with horses, but also I want to like be a travel vlogger, but also I want to like be a painter, but also I want to like be an interior designer, but also I want to like, girl, that's good. That's fantastic. Absolutely. You should have that many dreams. But it can get overwhelming when you're like, okay, but what do I do? What do I do? Like, it's so hard to choose. I want to do all of them. What do I do? Here's the thing. You can do all of them. Dare I say you can do all of them. And that's what's beautiful about life. Sometimes you can overlap a couple. Sometimes you can take on a couple different things. But usually what's so beautiful about having so many dreams is you're going to live those dreams as seasons through your life. So pick whichever one makes the most sense to you right now. That's how you choose, okay? Oh, but I have so many dreams. What do I do? What makes the most sense to you where you are now? What is most tangible? What you can go and achieve sooner than later? That's the dream you choose. That's the dream you start living out. That's the dream you start going after. Now, in the future, maybe, you achieve that dream. You get into it. Maybe it becomes a lifelong career. Fantastic. Amazing. Maybe you're like, all right, I'm ready to try something new. That's when you pull out those other dreams that you have and you think, okay, I did one of those things. Now it's time to move forward and achieve something else. What do I go look for? What do I do? What fits in best to this season of your life? What is the most achievable thing to this season of your life? That's what you go after. And don't worry about, but that's delusional. Everything is. Everything that anybody who has achieved, that is a high achiever, that has created things out of thin air, those were delusions. Those were delusions that they had, that they said, you know what, fuck it. I don't care if that's just a fleeting thought in my head. I'm going to figure out how to make it tangible. I think that's so beautiful. And alchemizing your ideas into reality is such a skill and so admirable. And if you're able to do that, if you're able to hone in on your ideas and bring that to reality, props to you. That's incredible. That's amazing. And if you're a big dreamer and want to achieve big things, you can do that. Unfortunately, you just have to start doing it. And if you don't know what to do, ask yourself, what makes the most sense to me right now? What feels the most authentic to me right now? I guess this can be the body dysmorphia episode. Trigger warning, sorry. But someone asked how to have a healthy relationship with food and calories. Don't focus on calories. No, don't focus on calories. Unless it's something you medically need to do, I can't focus on calories because I'm a control freak. And if I focus on anything too hard, it's going to turn negative. And the last thing I want it to do is turn negative when it comes to food and calories. I started cooking more so for myself and for friends and family, and then also making videos for you guys about a year ago. And I'll tell you what, cooking has completely changed how I view food and how I eat food and how I go about it. And you know how I go about it now? Previously, it would be for a while, it was I don't want to eat a lot, which is bad, toxic. And then it moved into, well, I want to eat whatever's easiest to me, which was not good because it was like all fast food and that was fucking me up. I'll tell you what, just not good. I was not getting enough fiber, that's for fucking sure. And then it moved into, okay, but what's like not easy, but just like something I can make at home to save money. And that completely transformed how I view food because now I view it as like fun, fuel, energy, tastiness. Food is meant to be enjoyed and shared and honestly look forward to. I'll tell you what, my meals throughout the day are the number one things I look forward to because I love a good snack. I love a good ripe peach. I love a good sausage. I love a good slice of cheese, charcuterie board, dinner. Fantastic. I love it. I love it all. And that's how food should be enjoyed. It should be something that you look forward to. That makes you feel good, that makes you feel full, that makes you feel fueled, setting yourself up for success, setting your body up for success. Because ultimately, like I said, in the vessel of it all, like this is the gas you're putting into the tank to get to moving, you know? What I eat before I work an 8-hour shift is very different than like if I'm going to be staying home just hanging out all day. But period, point blank, what I'm focusing on is I do think sourcing locally has really changed how I view food. Getting from local farmers, supporting locally, eating locally, local honey, vegetables, even going to a local butcher shop. It really makes you focus on the wholeheartedness of food and how beautiful it can be, like how much work these people put into, like think about cows and like butchering a cow. That's a lot of work, you know, locally, especially from local farmers, or even like growing carrots. Like that takes a while. It takes a lot of planning, like a lot of hard work. People are getting their hands down and dirty to bring those carrots to you. So like if you could show up and support and appreciate where they're coming from, I think that's beautiful. I think it really changes our perspective of food as a commodity and more so into like art form, because I think food is art. I think eating for my cycle has really affected how I view food as well. It's setting my hormones more up for success, setting my body up for success where I'm feeling healthy and fueled and ready to go and take on the day. And I don't think there's any like good food or bad food. All food is food. How you view it is the good or the bad. Like, listen, I'm still going to do my late night Taco Bell runs every once in a while. I'm still going to eat my yummy, yummy gummy worms every once in a while. I'm going to the movie theaters. I'm getting a big ass bucket of popcorn with extra, 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 extra butter. I do not think restriction is healthy. I don't think we should be restricting ourselves from the pleasure of life. What's most important is, are we balancing that pleasure with function? That's how you build that good relationship. And like, bitch, I'm not eating nasty ass food. I want to eat yummy food, okay? I want to eat food that tastes good, that makes me feel good, that I can look forward to at the end of the night. Tonight, I'm making tikka masala, and I'm so fucking excited about it. It's like one of my favorite meals ever, paired with fresh garlic naan. Ooh, yummy. My God, I can't wait. But I'm not going to sit here and look at my favorite food and be like, no, that's bad for me. I shouldn't eat it. It's like, no. Sitting down, I'm home making it. It feels nicer when I make things on my own. I'm sourcing as locally as possible, supporting locally. I'm really paying attention to where I get my foods from, and I'm making something yummy out of it. Now that's a win, 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 especially when I'm traveling. Like, I love to enjoy foods from different cultures, from different, you know, experiences, perspectives, new places, new restaurants to try. That's so fun about life. I love that about life. And I do look at food more so as an art form now than I do as like a means to get by. I feel like previously it was like I was paying too much attention to it in the wrong way, when I should have been paying attention to like the artfulness of it all, the experience of it all, the beauty of it all. I do think you can find beauty in food. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think you should be finding beauty in the food that you're eating. It's another way to romanticize life. And also like, oof, I love a good meal. I saw a clip of Vanilla Mace the other day kind of talking about the whole body image of it all, and she's like, listen, it's hot out. I'm gonna be in a bikini. If I'm in the pool at a summer barbecue and they're cooking up cheeseburgers, I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger. 'Tis the season. That shit smells good. I want to eat, period. As it should be. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed and experienced to the fullest. And I think sometimes when we are overthinking, overanalyzing, it really puts a roadblock up between us and a lived life experience. experience. And I want you guys to live life to the fullest. And the number one way to do that is to stop overthinking and observing and perspectivizing yourself. Allow yourself to be a human. Humans are weird and messy and ugly. We all look different. That's beautiful. That's what makes us beautiful as individuals. I don't want to go outside and see other Hannahs there. Oh my God, scary. Like, I want to see other people who are individually themselves, who are showing up fully as themselves. I think that's what's so beautiful about life. But I do think when we are completely over analyzing, over perspectivizing ourselves, it does put that roadblock up of just like not allowing ourselves to enjoy life, to enjoy a good bikini, to enjoy a good summer barbecue, to enjoy a good cheeseburger, to enjoy just ourselves in this moment. And you deserve to enjoy life to the fullest, period. It's summer, it's hot out. Get out there, go live your life, go experience life. You deserve it. That's how summers are meant to be lived. And if you're worried about if people are going to like you, enjoy you, or even just like appreciate you because of how you look, that's not how you should be viewing it. You should not be viewing on trying to fit in, on trying to be a cookie cutter person because you want somebody to like you, because that is a selfish ass, weak-minded individual. And I argue, why would you want bad people to like you if they're a bad person with a bad perspective? I don't care if people like me because of how I look, because that's an ugly ass horrible perspective. If you're going to judge people based on how they look, that's weirdo behavior, and I don't give a fuck about your perspective. It doesn't hold any weight in my world. I don't think people should be judging each other based on how we look at all. And yeah, if you are trying to appease somebody or win somebody over on your looks, then that's the wrong person you should be winning over. The right person will not give a fuck what you look like, who you are, how you are. They will love you for who you are, period. No matter the shape, size, craziness you go through, that person will love you unconditionally, and that's who you want on your side. Not the selfish ass, weak-minded individual who's going to judge you if you get a little bit of acne or judge you if you put on a couple pounds. Throw that man to the curb. Get him out of here. He does not deserve to be in your presence as a goddess, as the goddess you are, literally. But enough of me rambling. We're getting to the end of the episode, so I'm going to fly through a couple questions, just like a little speed round towards the end. Someone said, I masturbate to fantasies of my future success, jobs, house, lifestyle, etc. Yeah, major manifesting tool. Absolutely. I do think there is power in pleasure. And I do think that is a old school witchcraft tip, which is just like through manifestation, adding pleasure through manifestation will bring those things to fruition. And I do think sex is a very powerful tool. And yeah, girl, if you want that fucking job, what do you have to lose to flick the bean to imagining that? You know, if it gets you the job, period, as you should. That's also a baby witch like love spell, is if you just kind of like flick the bean to the image of them in your head. I do think that is kind of like putting a love spell on them in the sense. I think love spells can be very dark, dangerous, and that's a very lighthearted, simple one, because I know men are doing that, you know what I mean? So why not do it back? How to stop thinking everyone thinks the worst of me. You only think that because you think that of yourself. When you start thinking the best of yourself, you will automatically assume everybody else thinks the best of you. Your perspective of the people around you are a direct perspective of how you view yourself, period. And if you think everybody's judging you, it's because you're judging yourself. Because like, they're not judging you. They're not putting those thoughts in your head. You're putting those thoughts in your head. And once you release and relinquish and understand that like you're not here to win people over or to be liked, I mean like be a good person, period. I know you are, so that's why you don't really need to justify it. Once you realize, oh my God, I am a good person, I am deserving of good things, I am deserving of like peace, and you start thinking the best of yourself, you will automatically assume everybody else is thinking the best of you. Our perspective is a direct reflection of how we view ourselves in our heads. So show yourself a little bit of love, because I know you are a great person and I know everybody doesn't think the worst of you. I got really high with my boyfriend and couldn't stand his touch. Does that mean anything, or was I just fried? Ooh. I do think sometimes the weed helps break down it thins the veil in a way where we're able to see things for what they really are. It's hard to ignore cringy, weird behavior when you're high because it's all you're going to focus on. So I do think sometimes weed can be a truth teller, or just drugs in general. And I don't encourage this, but sometimes that perspective is, truth, honesty. You're just not putting up those rose-colored glasses anymore. Now, if it was just his touch, like you were like, bitch, leave me alone. I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to be touched. I get that way too, even when I'm not high. It's just like sometimes I get like so anxious and overwhelmed that even though I love my boyfriend and he's fantastic and amazing, sometimes he'll like come up and like just kiss on me and I'm like, oh my God, I just can't. I can't. I'm overwhelmed. And I'll do that sober. So especially when I'm high, it happens. Now, if it was his whole personality and everything about him, if you're like, I can't stand even looking at him, thinking of him. I can't stand his smell. I can't stand what he looks like. I can't stand the way he's talking. I can't stand the way he's touching me. That's when I'd be like, okay, I fear you might just hate him. I fear you might just not like your boyfriend and you're kind of realizing it. If it was just his touch, maybe you're just overwhelmed. But if it's everything about the person, weed will tell you. Weed will tell you. It'll be like, this person's a weirdo freak bitch and not in a good way. And it will give you that perspective. And it's hard to ignore that once it kind of shows it to you. Thoughts on frats and sororities? I'm pro frat and sorority. I was never in a sorority, but every single friend I've ever had has been in a sorority. Even like my bestest friends were like presidents of their sororities, like living their best life in their sorority. I do think it costs a lot of money, but I do think it builds friendships that last a lifetime. I do love a frat for the parties they put on. I will tell you that. I was only going to frat parties pretty much throughout college, having a grand old time there. And if you want to live your party girl experience in college, I do recommend joining a sorority. Each sorority does have their own vibe. I'm not anti-sorority. I'm not anti-girl. That's why. And they can be a little cliquey, but I do think sometimes the clickiness is nice, especially in college when everybody seems kind of against each other. If you have that good group of people that you can kind of get in with and experience life side by side with them, it can be really life-changing and beautiful and wonderful. Also, sororities will have connections for you outside of work. If you go to an interview, oh my God, we've been in the same sorority, bam, I guarantee you're getting that job. And that's just how it works. Sorority is a connection tool as well. It is expensive. That's why I didn't do it. And also I just like didn't care. I just never saw myself being a sorority girl. But I did have a bunch of friends in sororities and I do think they had a great time. And yeah, if you're interested, go for it. I do love a frat party, but don't drink any sort of pre-made alcohol they have there. Bring your own. Hi, love. How to tell your partner they smell down there in the nicest way possible? Ooh, that's hard. It's so hard to tell people they smell. It's very hard to tell people they smell. But if it's your partner, it's like, no, you have to not smell because like I'm trying to fuck you and I don't want to fuck a smelly beast. Maybe like shower together and see how they wash themselves. And if you notice they just like don't wash themselves, then maybe you can kind of like, and I hate when people have to mother their partners, but sometimes people aren't set up for success. If you really love the person, you can kind of show up and show out for them. But if you're showering together and you notice like, oh my God, they never wash their body, maybe it's like you wash your body first with a washcloth and then you pass the washcloth and soap over and you're like, your turn. Okay, you next. You next, your turn. And it's like, if he's like, what? I don't need that. It's like, yeah, you do. What? Oh, you've never washed the washcloth before? Here you go. Like, you got to scrub it down, girl. Like, you got to get down there and clean it up. Like, you've been working hard. You're a hard worker. You got to get all that grease and grime off of you so you can sit back, relaxed, and refreshed. Up. That man's going to get to scrubbing. That man's going to get to washing his fucking asshole immediately. So, that's really the nicest way I would go about it. I think just looking at them and being like, you smell is going to cause a lot of insecurities. So you do have to be smart about it in a sense of like, have you ever bought a loofah before? What kind of soap do you use? Like, you got to play a little bit of a mind game with it. But if it's so bad, and it's like really bad, I argue maybe you don't need to be with them. I know, and it's so hard. How to tell my parents I'm not religious. I don't believe in God, but I'm spiritual. This is when I come in and I say there's some conversations that don't need to be had with your parents. Your parents don't want to know everything about you. This was one of the biggest life lessons I learned when I was younger, which was just like, I thought, oh, I'm older. I need to be a complete and open book to my parents. And then I was, and they got very concerned about me, rightfully so. And I did kind of break their hearts a little bit, rightfully so. So I learned very quickly there is not a lot you need to tell your parents. And in fact, you don't have to tell your parents everything. You don't have to tell them that you are not religious to your very Christian Catholic parents, because they are going to be heartbroken if you sit down and look them in the eyes and say, I don't believe in God. Your feelings and opinions are valid, but sometimes you need to understand that everything in your head doesn't need to be said. Everything doesn't need to be said. And there's something to be said about truthfulness and honesty and who you are. But sometimes there's some people who are going to judge you for that, and everything doesn't need to be said, period. Especially when you're trying to maintain a relationship with them or just like not be so rocky. So, some things are better left unsaid and kept to yourself. You can still continue on your spiritual journey and enjoy that path to the complete fullest. Absolutely. But would I look your Catholic parents in the face and say God's not real? No, that is going to be just more problems on your plate that you do not need to deal with. Do you ignore all news for sanity? XOXO. No, I do stay fairly connected to the news. There's a couple like streamers and just like, yeah, I'm not like tapped out for my sanity because I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know. There's only so much like bandwidth I can, give to being aware of society and what's going on. But I'm not going to turn a blind eye and cover my eyes and be like, nothing bad is ever happening ever. It's like, no, there are horrors and awful things going on everywhere. And I do think it's important to be aware of them and to be aware of your perspective and like to stand up for those people who do need to be stood up for. Like, hello, Free Palestine, duh. But do I have 24 hours to give to reading the news every single day? No. But do I stay updated and connected? Absolutely. And I do think you should too, because I think turning a blind eye to these situations does make you a little bit complicit in them. I know. And I know it's easier just not pay attention, but like, girl, sometimes you have to be aware. Now, do I think you need to deep dive into it and build yourself into a ball of anxiety and stress? No, I don't think that's going to help the cause. I really don't. But being situationally aware and being aware of the news, I do think is important. Yes. What should be a financial standard for marriage? Sorry, but how poor is too poor? Ooh. Oh, for marriage? I think I don't really care about poor. What I do care about is debt. If you get married and that person has a 1,000 fucking credit cards maxed out, that debt is now your debt. Now your credit is tanked, even though you have never taken a credit card out in your entire life. That's a problem. I think debt is more bad than anything else. Student loans, it's not the worst kind of debt to have, but what's really bad is debt of mismanaged money, of people overspending past their means. I don't care if you're poor, but if you have $100,000 in debt, then we have a fucking problem. I think debt is a big issue. And then I also think, once again, I don't care how much is in your bank account. I mean, I kind of do, not that much, but I do care how much you're bringing in. Do you have a stable job with benefits? Are you contributing to your retirement fund? Are you setting yourself up successfully for financial return in the future? Because you don't want to have like a backup plan and, retirement plan, but your partner is having to work till 100 years old. Those are the two things I really care about money wise, because my parents raised us very, very frugal. Like, I understand the frugal life. I understand we don't have a lot of money to spend kind of life. And I don't think that's something to be judged over, because we're working full-time job. We're adding to our Roth IRA, our retirement fund, we're saving money, and we're not taking out a massive amount of debt. That's healthy. Any advice on how to embrace cringiness without a fear of judgment? Me vlogging in public has really gotten me over this idea of like perspective and people judging me, because like I would rather be cringe in your mind than caged in my own. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about that random in the street. Oh, they're going to judge me for 5 seconds because I'm holding my phone out and vlogging. Cool. Then they're going to judge me for 5 seconds, but I don't know that person. I don't value their opinion. I'm not in their way. I'm not actually bothering them. If they're going to look at me and make fun of me, then like go ahead. I really, truly do not give a fuck. it's not actually inconveniencing me. It's not actually doing any sort of physical or mental harm. Like, some people are going to judge you. There's people who are closed-minded in this world. There's people who are judging themselves so hard that they can't help but judge everybody else around them. But if I were to base my perspective of myself off of weak-minded people around me, I would be a shell of a human being. And I deserve to live this life as freely and open as possible. And I do think I have a lot of anxieties about just being in public. So, challenging myself to get out, to be unafraid of people's ideas of me, to really just like break down those walls that I've built up a little bit, and to put myself out there more has been very helpful of just like getting the fuck over it. Like, I do not give a fuck if you like me or not, because I know truly in my heart that I'm a good person, that I like who I am, that I think I'm cool and I'm sexy and I'm wonderful, and nobody else around me, especially like a fucking stranger, a random stranger on the street, is ever going to make me think differently about myself. The only people I value is like their opinions, are like a very small handful of people. I value your guys' opinions because you guys are cool, you're lovely, you guys know me, you understand me. Like, that's important. You're a community that I really value and trust. Same as like my really close friends, or even like my parents, now that we're in a better relationship. Maybe previously not so much, but now, yes, sure, kind of. My partner, those are opinions that I care about, where it's like, if I'm fucking up, they're going to tell me. But like, yeah, random people in the street who hate themselves, of course they're going to hate on you. I don't care about their opinion. Like I said, I would rather be cringe in your mind than caged in my own. And if you feel like you're a walking cringe ball, you got to get outside more. You have to get outside. You have to experience life more. You got to put yourself in more situations where you're allowing yourself to be a cringe, where you're allowing yourself to be a little weird. It will make you feel so free. It really will. Vlogging has really helped me with that, where it's like, no, I'm just going to get out there and do whatever. Like, fuck it. I'm going to challenge myself. It's going to feel a little weird and embarrassing, but also like, who cares? Who cares? Like, life is meant to be lived and experienced and enjoyed. Truly, the only opinion that matters should be your own opinion of yourself. And I really recommend having a high opinion of yourself in order to fight the cringe allegations. Absolutely. Because I know for a fact there's people who are like looking at me, looking at my page. Oh my God, she's so weird. She's so embarrassing. Blah, blah, blah. Girl, have fun in that hellhole of a mind that you have if you think the life that I'm living is embarrassing. Because I'm over here having a ball. I'm having a grand old time. And I'm so sorry that you can't have that too. Sucks. You know what I mean? But like, it's so fucking hot out, you guys. I'm a little too exhausted for me to even give a fuck right now, that I truly am just committed to living and enjoying and loving life like as much as possible. I'm so excited to go on vacation and like bring you guys with me. I'm so excited to vlog it and just to like be out in nature and just like in the mountains with my girls, fucking running around, sprinting through the forest, through meadows, like living our best lives. It's gonna be so fucking good. And I'm so thankful for you guys. I really enjoy sitting down and doing this every week. I know I say that and it's like, girl, yeah, we get it. But truly, genuinely, I enjoy this so much. I'm pre-filming like 8 podcast episodes today to make up for next week. So we will be doing our confessionals next week. Confessionals will be up. It'll be a hot, sexy confessional summer. If you want to see more content from me, I do Patreon exclusive episodes every single Thursday where I answer every single one of your questions. They get long. Those are long episodes, but we have a fun time. I can be more unhinged on Patreon. I do not hold back. That's for fucking sure. Patreon.com/smokesesshotty. Please come support. Come hang out. I would love to have you. Exclusive vlogs. Videos go up early, extra Patreon episodes. I do weekly inspo, Sunday spirit. Like, it's going to be a new month, so new book club month. I do a new tarot reading every month to kind of set us up for success. We do a lot over there. I put so much effort into the Patreon, and I really try and make the tiers as available as possible. If you want to support, please come support. Also, new vlog every week. For everybody else, the vlog is up for this past week. It is a baked and baking chocolate chip cookies episode that is on YouTube at Hannah Marlene 444. And if you're new and don't know where to submit questions, come follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. I upload a questionnaire every Sunday for you guys to submit your questions so we stay on track and on tune to what's going on in the world as possible. But enough of me rambling. I love you all so much. Truly, I could cry. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I cannot wait to see you guys for the Confessionals episode and after vacation. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, stay free, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!